I probably wouldn't be able to laugh if someone else did. I'd be like, oh, stop laughing, this is serious.
Hi, Hero. How are you doing?
Hi, Lisa, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for taking the time to do this. I know you're got a big time difference there, so I appreciate it. Congratulations on this movie. What I loved about it was, you go into it thinking it is kind of this first love romance, but the parents have such an equally, mesmerizing story. What is something that, drew you to this project? Was it seeing that kind of dichotomy of the relationships? Was it, playing somebody a little bit different from what you've played before? What was it?
There's an accumulation of things. You definitely touched on a couple of them. And I think initially it's important to note that still feeling like I'm very much still in the afterworld, I didn't want to do another romance for obvious reasons. I wanted to diversify my portfolio and do some different genres. And then this one came along and it was just like, oh, that's annoying because it's just such a good script. So we read it through and spoke to my team and then organized a call with AJ, the director. And I'm already thinking, okay, Diane Kruger and Jeffrey Donovan and Sydney Park are such great people to be around. I'm really tempted to say yes, but I don't know if I want to do another romance. I hope AJ like really wants me for this. So I guess my first question I'll ask him when I get on this Zoom is going to be like, do you really want me, or is there another reason people want me? Is it producers? Is it budget? Is it, because there are some things like that that sometimes go on behind the doors. And before I could even ask the question, he expressed such kindness about my work and support and belief in me bringing this character to life that amongst the incredible script, completely different character to Hardin. As much as I was apprehensive to do another romance, it felt like there's too many other aspects as to why I should do this project. And I'm so glad I did, because I'm really, really proud of it and I had a great time doing it.
Was there any new challenge that you faced with this project that maybe you haven't in past ones, whether it's as an actor or, even just looking at how things are filmed and all of that?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me was definitely the accent. I've done American accent loads of times in auditions, and I did a more Southern American accent in the silencing, but to do like a more, generic kind of, I guess, like LA based generic American accent was something that I was really, really just doubting myself about and worried I couldn't do it. And had a great dialect coach who was so helpful. And we did a bunch of Zoom calls and yeah, as I say, she was so helpful, but that was the biggest challenge going into it was being able to maintain the accent for the whole film. But I'm proud of the work. I think we succeeded. So
What is your process when it comes to an accent? Are you one of those people that chooses to kind of stay in it in between takes or anything like that? Or are you able to just kind of be like, all right, I did it for the scene, and now like as I'm talking to the director or in between, I'm going to switch back to my
yeah,
accent? How
yeah.
do you work?
So I do think, and I'm learning this as I go, and I still say think, I'm not certain, but I do think it makes sense that the best way to do it is stay in the accent, because there's muscle memory involved, and there's like, I do think it makes sense to do that. And I kind of dabbled. Some days I would do it more, some days I'd do it less. It was funny though, the dialect coach said to me, Joy, said to me the day before we started the first, before the first day, said how English people, it's funny, apparently English actors are always so reluctant to do, or generally very reluctant to do the accent on set because they're scared of feeling like an idiot. And that was exactly what I was thinking, and she completely read my mind. It's funny how we all have too much pride as actors to just do the accent when we're not filming. But it was really helpful, that piece of advice. And I think going forward, I think it is important to speak as much as you can in your daily life like that, so that you're not conscious of it and it just comes out.
I had a fan question about the accent from someone named Desiree. Were there any like specific words for you that kind of tripped you up when you were doing the accent?
There were, and I've been asked this a couple of times now, so I'm gonna go through the script probably and dig it out, because I'm sure it's got like a massive highlighter pen scribble around it, like crossed through it or something. But no, nothing too bad that sticks in my mind. But I'm sure there's little words or words that back up against other words where you say like, I feel like I might naturally say this differently, but only because I'm struggling with making that sound right. But no, if I'll dig one out, I'll let you guys know. But I think it was relatively easy to work with Joy. She was so amazing. So I feel like we kind of dissected everything and managed to do it all.
And I feel like this movie, there's so much you can learn about, your first love and what love is like as you're grown and you're together for a long time. You learn a lot of things from movies. Have you yourself learned anything about love from whether it's a TV show or a movie or specific character that you kind of applied to your life?
Do you know what? Nothing in particular, like nothing specific. But you saying that's made me realize how much we probably do take without realizing of everything, but specifically love, because so many films, even films that are so far from romances, there's always some sort of love interest or dynamic of a relationship. And I feel like subconsciously we just eat that all up. So I think there is a slight responsibility to make sure that you portray relationships, not in just the best way, but in a real way. And yeah, I can't actually think of one off the top of my mind, but I'm sure I've been subconsciously massively influenced by all the kind of love I've seen on TV and film and stuff.
Feel like people always ask you like, what's the best love advice you've been given and all that, but something that's equally as trying and a hard time is a breakup. Have you been given any good breakup advice, like how to handle stuff like that?
I think the best advice for that, I think, is time will heal everything, and time is the biggest healer. So as long as you look after yourself in the moments you feel bad, time will actually heal you. It's not going to be the huge tub of ice cream that will make you feel better, but it'll make you feel better in the moment, and ultimately time will do the healing. So nothing lasts forever, you know, this too shall pass. But I think it's just important, if you've got a friend going through it, be there for him. I think it's almost like you need your other people and you need the other kind of aspects to help you out. But listen, if you're going through a breakup, you'll be fine. Everything will be all right.
And I did love that this took place in 2008. We had mixed CDs. If you were to give somebody a mixed CD that kind of represents your personality, what's maybe 2 or 3 songs that you'd have to have on there?
I feel like I've been listening to a lot of Thames recently, TEMS, and she's everywhere now. If you don't think you've heard of her, you've probably heard her on a sample or on a different song. So to answer your question, maybe just straight up Thames mixtape of Thames best tracks.
And you have such incredible fans. I asked for questions for you and I got like 100 in like less than a couple hours. So I had to pick a few. Hesselove07 wants to know, is there a moment where in this movie you kind of had to act serious, but then somehow you broke during the scene and it was just a lot of laughs?
Nah, do you know what? I don't think so. I think the environment that AJ creates, I think, don't get me wrong, AJ's a lovely guy who'll have a laugh here and there, but when he's in it, I think he's in it, and I felt a bit like I'd get in trouble if I didn't. I felt like in the best way, there was enough kind of, I wouldn't even say pressure, but just like we were really trying to make this feel right. So I was so in that moment that if anything, if I was probably supposed to be serious, I probably wouldn't be able to laugh if someone else did. I'd be like, "Oh, stop laughing! This is serious." I feel like that's how kind of immersed in the vibe we felt, and I think AJ's really good with like soundtracks as well, and putting some music on in the background, and having such a small crew as well. Everyone feels what the scene feels like, and like you kind of set a tone and a mood, and it just kind of like spreads across the whole set. So no, I don't think there was. It's a great question though.
Miriam Fatima 16 wants to know, what's one quality of Jim that you would like to adopt, and what's one quality of him that maybe you wouldn't want to?
I don't love his dress sense. I probably wouldn't adopt that. I feel like I say that about After though, actually, about Harden too. But no, it's not too bad. I think someone in it says he dresses older. But yeah, he has a certain dress sense. But one thing I'd say, I think he's just so wise. He's just wise beyond his years. I think he's so patient, and I think he uses not few, but he uses just the right amount of words. He doesn't talk too much, and I am definitely susceptible to waffling on and droning on a bit and just letting my words get away from me. So maybe I'd take his ability to speak concisely and only speak when he really needs to. I think that's quite a cool, wise aspect of his character.
And Michaela wants to know, what's one genre you'd love to do next that you haven't done, or anything that's on your bucket list when it comes to acting?
I want to do a London-based, it doesn't have to be crime necessarily, but a London-based drama. I would quite like for there to be some sort of crime element with like cat and mouse detectives or police chasing, or, you know, trying to crack down on some sort of criminal activity. I feel like I say that a lot, and there's loads of stuff I'd like to do. I love to diversify my acting portfolio at every, you know, opportunity. So whatever comes next, if it's different and interesting, we'll take it. But I would love to do something gritty with high stakes, like a crime thriller or drama. Yeah.
You can't go through life waiting for happiness. You have to make your own.
Hi.
Hi.